everyone, I am Divya, your math facilitator. In this video, we shall discuss few questions based on chapter 1 of class 9, real numbers. So, I have already discussed the concepts of this chapter in the earlier videos. Do click on the I button above to get the videos, okay? So, now let's get started. The first question is you have to find the value of these, okay? So, we have learnt loss of exponents in the earlier classes also, and in this class also I told you that we are extending the loss of exponents to rational numbers, okay? Real numbers base, rational numbers exponents, okay? So here you can see that the base is real number and the exponents here are rational numbers, okay? They are in the form of p by q, yes? And we have learned that the same loss of exponents you can extend it to these numbers also, okay? So a power m into a power n is a power m plus n, a power m divided by a power n is a power m minus n, and a power m whole power n is a power mn. Okay, so let us use these here. Okay, so now you have 16 to the power 3 by 4. Okay, let us prime factorize 16. So prime factorizing 16, you have 2 8s are 16, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4 and 2 1s are 2. Okay, so 16 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, which is nothing but 2 power 4. Okay, so 16 you can write it as 2 power 4. Okay, and whole to the power of, you have a power 3 by 4 here. Okay, now this is nothing but it is of the form a power m whole power n. So you can write as a power m into n. So this is also a power m whole power n. So it is a power m into n. Clear? So now it is 4 1s are 4, 4 1s are 4. So you can see that it has reduced to 2 cube. Okay, so this is 2 cube now. Yes, so 2 cube is nothing but 8. Yes, so now let us move on to the next bit. Now 32. 32 you have to prime factorize it. Okay, so 2 16s are 32, 2 8s are 16, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4 and 2 1s are 2. Okay, so 32 you can write it as 1 2 3 4 5, 2 power 5. Clear? So 32 it can be written as 2 power 5. Okay, so 2 power 5 whole power, you have 1 by 5. Clear? So again it is of this form. So you will simply write it as 2 power 5 into 1 by 5, a power m into n. Okay, so this is nothing but 5 1s are 5 1s are. Now this is 2 power 1, 2 power 1 is nothing but 2. Clear? Now here 625. So 625 also you have to prime factorize. Clear? So it is 5 1s are 5, you have a remainder 1. So now this is 12. So 5 2s are 10, you have remainder 2. Now this is 25, 5 5s are 25. Clear? So now 5 2s are 10. So the remainder is 2. Now this is 25. So 5 5s are 25. Again 5 5s are 25. 5 1s are 5. Clear? So 625 you can write it as 5 into 5 into 5 into 5, which is nothing but 5 to the power 4. Okay, so this is 5 raised to the power 4. Clear? And you have 1 by 4 here. Clear? So this is again of the form a power n whole power n. Okay, so it is a power m into n. Okay, now 4 1s are 4 1s are. So it is 5 power 1, which is nothing but 5. Clear? Very simple problems, right? So now the next one, 243. So 243 also you have to prime factorize. It is 3 8s are 24 and 3 1s are 3. 3 2s are 6 and 2 is remaining. Now this is 21, 3 7s are 21. 3 9s are 27, 3 3s are 9 and 3 1s are 3. Okay, so 243 you can write it as 3 raised to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 to the power 5. Whole power you have 2 by 5 here. Okay, again it is of this form a power n whole power n. So it is 3 to the power 5 into 2 by 5. Okay, so it is 5 1s are 5 1s are. So it is 3 square. 3 square is nothing but what? 9. Moving on to the next question, you have to simplify these. Okay, so 2 power 2 by 3 into 2 power 1 by 5. Okay, here you can use the loss of exponents as we have discussed earlier. Okay, so it is of the form a power m into a power n. See, the base is same 2. Okay, so you can use this law of exponent. Okay, so it is of the form a power m into a power n. So what is it? a power m plus n. Okay, so this is nothing but 2 power 2 by 3 plus 1 by 5. Okay, the power gets added using this law of exponent. Okay, so this is nothing but 2 power. Now taking LCM, 3 and 5, LCM is 15. Okay, so now you will multiply this with 5 and here you will multiply with 3. I hope you are comfortable in taking LCM. So this is 10 plus 3. Okay, so this is 2 power 13 by 15. Clear? Now here the second question is 11 power 1 by 2 divided by 11 power 1 by 4. It is of the form a power m divided by a power n. So you will write as a power m minus n. Okay, so this is a is 11 here. So 11 power m is 1 by 2 minus n is 1 by 4. Okay, so this is again it is nothing but 11 power. Now take LCM, it is 4. Okay, so it is 2 minus 1. So it is 11 power 1 by 4. Clear? So this is the answer. Okay, now here the third bit, it is of the form a plus b whole square. Yes, it is of the form a plus b whole square. What is it? It is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Yes, so now here a is root 3 and b is, this is a and this is b. B is root 2. Okay, so what is a square? A square is root 3 whole square plus 2ab, so 2 into a is root 3 into b is root 2 plus b square is root 2 whole square. Okay, so root 3 whole square is nothing but 3. Square and square root gets cancelled plus 2 root 3 into root 2. Okay, so this is root a into root b. So you have learned that it is root a b. Okay, root a into b. So it is root 3 into 2. 3 into 2 is what? It is 6. So plus you have root 2 whole square. So it is 2. Clear? So now 3 plus 2 is what? It is 5 plus you have 2 root 6. So it is 5 plus 2 root 6. Okay. Now let us solve this. Now this is of the form a minus b into a plus b. Yes, so this is nothing but a square minus b square. Do you remember these identities? Now this is a and this is b. Okay, so you have to convert it into a square minus b square. Here a is root 11, so root 11 square minus b is what? B is root 7. So root 11 square is 11 minus root 7 square is 7. So 11 minus 7 is 4. Clear? So using the identities and using these laws of exponents, you can simplify them easily. Now the next question is you have to rationalize the denominators. Okay, so in the denominators you have irrational numbers, you have to rationalize it. Nothing but you should get some rational number in the denominator. Okay, so now how do we do that? You'll firstly check for the denominator. Here the denominator is 3 plus root 2. Okay, so you will multiply both the numerator and denominator. Okay, so you will multiply and divide this by 3 minus root 2. Okay, since you have 3 plus root 2 in the denominator, you will multiply and divide this by 3 minus root 2. Okay, so if you have plus here between the two terms, you will take minus. Okay, if you have minus, you will take plus. Clear? Now I will tell you why. So let us write this. So 1 by 3 plus root 2 into 3 minus root 2 by 3 minus root 2. Okay, so you are multiplying and dividing by 3 minus root 2. Clear? So this is nothing but 1 into 3 minus root 2 is 3 minus root 2. Okay, divided by, now look here, this is of the form a plus b into a minus b. Okay, so it is of the form a plus b into a minus b. So what is the answer? It is a square minus b square. So we will use this in all these problems. Okay, now did you understand why did I take the opposite sign? If it is plus, why did I take minus? So that I can use this identity. Clear? So if it is plus, you will write minus. So if you have minus in the question here like this, you will take plus between these two terms. Okay, now let us see. So it is a plus b into a minus b. So it is a square minus b square. Here a is 3. So it is 3 square minus b is what? B is root 2. So it is root 2 square. Clear? So this is 3 minus root 2 divided by 3 square is 9 minus root 2 square is 2. Okay, square and square root gets cancelled. So it is 3 minus root 2 by 9 minus 2 is 7. Okay, so here you can see in the denominator you have a rational number. 7 is a rational number. Okay, so you have rationalized this denominator. Clear? Very simple problem these are. Now here you see 1 by root 7 you have. Okay, there are no two terms. Here you have two terms. Okay, so we have multiplied it with this number, but here you don't have two terms, but you know that root a into root a is what? Root a into root a is root a whole square. Yes, root a into root a is root a whole square. Nothing but a into a is what? It is a square. Okay, here root a into root a is root a whole square. Okay, but root a whole square, now the square and square root gets cancelled and you will have a. Yes, now a is a rational number. Yes, so the same thing will apply here. Okay, instead of root a you have root 7 here. So with what will you multiply? With same root 7 you have to multiply again. Okay, if you have root a you are multiplying with root a to get a rational number. Yes, so here you have root 7. So with what should you multiply? You will multiply with root 7 again. So you will multiply and divide this entire thing with root 7. Okay, so this is nothing but 1 into root 7 is root 7, and root 7 into root 7. Root 7 into root 7 is nothing but root 7 whole square in this way. So it is nothing but root 7 by root 7 whole square is square and square root gets cancelled and you have 7. Okay, so you have rationalized the denominator. Clear? Now moving on to the next question. So it is root 6 by root 3 minus root 2. Okay, so here also we will take root 6 by root 3 minus root 2. So with what you will multiply and divide? You will multiply and divide with this opposite sign. Okay, you have a minus here, so you will write plus root 3 plus root 2 by root 3 plus root 2. Okay, so if you are having minus between the two terms, you will take plus. Okay, and you will multiply and divide with this term. Clear? Why? Because you want to bring this in the form of this identity. Okay, so this is nothing but, now this is root 6 into root 3 plus root 2 you have divided by, now this is a minus b into a plus b. So you can use that identity. So it is a square, here a is root 3 minus b square, b is root 2. Okay, so this is nothing but root 6 into root 3, root 6 into root 3 plus root 6 into root 2. Okay, if you want to simplify the numerator, it is in this way. Clear? Now root 3 whole square is nothing but 3 and root 2 whole square is nothing but 2. Okay, so it is nothing but root 6 into root 3 is what? Root 18. Okay, it is root a into root b, so root ab minus, sorry, you have plus root 6 into 2 is 12. Okay, divided by 3 minus 2 is what? It is 1. So the answer is root 18 plus root 12, and you have rationalized the denominator. Now 1 is the rational number. Okay, so this is the simplification. Now the next problem, you have 1 by root 5 plus root 2. Now tell me what you will multiply and divide this. You will multiply and divide this with root 5 minus root 2. Okay, divided by root 5 minus root 2. Why? Because you have plus here, you are taking minus. Okay, so this is nothing but root 5 minus root 2. 1 into root 5 minus root 2 is root 5 minus root 2 divided by, so it is a plus b into a minus b. So a square minus b square. Here a is root 5, so root 5 square minus root 2 square. Okay, so this is nothing but root 5 minus root 2 divided by root 5 square is what? 5. Root 2 square is what? 2. Okay, so it is root 5 minus root 2 divided by 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, we have rationalized the denominator. So always for rationalizing you have to remember between these two terms, if you have plus you will take what? Minus, and if you have minus you will take what? Plus, and if you don't have anything, if you have a single term, you will multiply and divide with the same term. Okay, if you have root 7 you are multiplying and dividing by root 7. If you have root 6 you will multiply and divide by root 6, and so on. Okay, moving on to the next question, you have to simplify 6 minus 4 root 2 divided by 6 plus 4 root 2. Okay, so nothing but you have to rationalize the denominator, only then you can simplify. Okay, for rationalizing, the same concept which we have learned in the earlier problem, you will try to bring this in the form of a plus b into a minus b, so that you can use this a square minus b square. Okay, so here what will you do? 6 minus 4 root 2 is the numerator divided by, the denominator has 6 plus 4 root 2. Okay, now since you have a plus here between the two terms, you will multiply and divide with what? 6 minus 4 root 2. Okay, so divided by 6 minus 4 root 2. Clear? So here in the numerator let us simply multiply. So it is 6 minus 4 root 2 into 6 minus 4 root 2. Okay, divided by, now it is a plus b into a minus b. Okay, so it is a square minus b square. Here a is 6, so 6 square minus 4 root 2 whole square. Okay, b is 4 root 2. Clear? Now you can see this is like a into a. So if you take this entire term as a, it is like a into a. Now what is a into a? A into a is nothing but a square. Yes, so this into this, the same term. So can I write it as 6 minus 4 root 2 whole square? Yes, since you can take this entire thing as a into a, so it is a square. Okay, now divided by, now 6 square is 36 minus 4 root 2 whole square is nothing but 4 square into root 2 whole square. Okay, so this is nothing but 6 minus 4 root 2 whole square. It is like a minus b whole square. Now what is the formula? A minus b whole square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Yes, so here a is 3, so 6 square minus 2 into a into b. Okay, plus b square is 4 root 2 whole square, divided by, you have 36 minus, now this is 4 square is 16 and root 2 whole square is 2. Okay, so 16 into 2 is what? It is 32. Clear? I have simplified this. Okay, so it is 32. Okay, so this is nothing but, now 6 square is 36. Now minus, you have 2 6 are 12, 12 into 4, 12 into 4 is what? 12 4s are 48 and you have a root 2. So 48 root 2 plus, now 4 root 2 whole square is, 4 square is 16 and root 2 square is 2. So 16 into 2 is 32. Okay, divided by, in the denominator you have 36 minus 32 is 4. Okay, so this is nothing but 36 plus 32. Okay, so 36 plus 32 is what? It is 68 minus, you have 68 minus 48 root 2 divided by 4. Okay, now you can see here that you can take 4 common from this. Okay, from 68 and 48 you can take 4 common. So if you take 4 common, what happens to 68? So 68 can be written as 68 divided by 4 is 4 1s are 4. So the remainder is 28. Now it is 4 7s are 28. Okay, so if you take 4 out of 68, you are left out with 17. Okay, minus, you know that 4 12s are 48. So if you take 4 out, you are left out with 12. Okay, 12 and you have a root 2. Clear? And divided by 4. Okay, now 4 1s are 4 1s are. Now the answer is 17 minus 12 root 2. So this is nothing but 17 minus 12 root 2. Okay, so we have simplified it. Clear? So very simple. You will firstly rationalize the denominator, and in the process of rationalizing, the steps of simplification continues. You will be using the identities wherever necessary. So now moving on to the next bit, it is 1 by 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. So here you will multiply and divide with what? 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 by 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. Okay, now 1 into 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 is the same number, divided by, it is a minus b into a plus b, so it is a square minus b square. Okay, so this is nothing but 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 divided by, so this is 3 square into root 2 whole square minus 2 square into root 3 whole square. Okay, so this is nothing but 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 divided by, so this is 9 into 2, 9 2s are 18 minus 2 square is 4 into 3, 4 3s are 12. Okay, so this is nothing but 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 by 18 minus 12 is 6. Clear? Moving on to the next question, you have to find the values of a and b, okay, and these conditions are given to you. Clear? So nothing but we'll again rationalize the denominator, okay. So it is root 3 plus root 2 divided by root 3 minus root 2, okay. So LHS is root 3 plus root 2 divided by root 3 minus root 2, okay. So we will multiply and divide with what? Root 3 plus root 2 divided by root 3 plus root 2, since you have a minus in the denominator, okay. So this is nothing but, now this is again of the form a into a, the numerator as discussed earlier. So a into a is nothing but a square, so you can write it as root 3 plus root 2 whole square divided by, now it is a minus b into a plus b, okay. So it is a square minus b square, okay, the same steps. So it is, now this is a plus b whole square, so you know that it is a square plus 2ab plus b square, okay. A plus b whole square is nothing but a square plus 2 into a into b plus b square, okay. Here a, you know, it is root 3 and b is root 2 divided by, here it is root 3 whole square is 3 minus root 2 whole square is what? 2, okay. So root 3 whole square is 3 plus you have 2 into, now root 3 into root 2, root a into root b is what? Root ab, okay. So using this it is root 3 into 2 is 6, okay, plus now root 2 whole square is 2 divided by 3 minus 2 is 1, okay. This is nothing but 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 2 root 6 you have, okay, divided by 1. So it is 5 plus 2 root 6. But it is given that this LHS is equal to a plus b root 6. This is given. So comparing, you can see the value of a is nothing but 5 and the value of b is nothing but 2. Okay, so a is 5 and b is 2. How? By comparing LHS and RHS. Okay, here in the place of a you have 5 and in the place of b you have 2. Okay, very simple. Now let us take the second problem. So here also you will firstly rationalize the denominator. So taking LHS firstly, so it is root 5 plus root 3 divided by 2 root 5 minus 3 root 3 into 2 root 5 plus 3 root 3. Since you have minus here, you will take plus, okay, divided by 2 root 5 plus 3 root 3. Okay, now you can see these are unlike terms, so you cannot write in that way, but you will simply multiply. So root 5 plus root 3 into 2 root 5 plus 3 root 3. Okay, so you have multiplied divided by, now this is a minus b into a plus b. So what is it? A square minus b square. So a is 2 root 5 here. So 2 root 5 whole square minus b is 3 root 3, so 3 root 3 whole square. Okay, now let us solve this. Now this is nothing but 2 square into root 5 whole square. Yes, so 2 square is 4 into root 5 whole square is 5. So this is 20. Okay, so this value is 20. Now this is 3 square into root 3 whole square. So 3 square is 9 into root 3 whole square is 3. So this is 27. Clear? Now let us write here. Now let us firstly multiply the numerator. So root 5 into, so this is nothing but root 5 into 2 root 5 plus 3 root 3. Okay, so root 5 into this entire thing plus root 3 into this entire thing. Okay, plus root 3 into 2 root 5 plus 3 root 3 divided by, now this value is nothing but 20 and minus here you have 27. Clear? So this is nothing but, now you will multiply each of this. Okay, so 2 into root 5 into root 5 is what? Root 5 into root 5 is 5. Okay, plus root 5 into 3 root 3. Okay, so it is 3 into root 5 into 3. Root 5 into root 3 is what? In this form you can take. So it is 5 3s are 15. Okay, plus now again it is 2. Now root 3 into root 5 is what? 15 plus 3. Now root 3 into root 3 is 3. So 3 into 3 is what? It will be 9. Okay, let us write now. Divided by, now 20 minus 27 is minus 7. Okay, so this is nothing but 2 5s are 10 plus, now you have 3 root 15 and 2 root 15. So 3 plus 2 is what? 5 root 15. Okay, since they are like terms, we are adding. Okay, and you have plus 3 into 3 is 9 divided by minus 7. Okay, so this is nothing but, now this is 19 plus 5 root 7 divided by minus 7. Okay, now just look at the RHS, it is a minus b root 15. Okay, okay, so comparing, so if you want to compare this to a minus b root 15, firstly you have to separate these terms. Okay, each of these terms you have to separate. So how will you separate? So it is nothing but 19 by minus 7 plus 5 root 15 by minus 7. Okay, so this is nothing but a minus b root 15. Okay, so this is minus 19 by 7 and you have minus 5 by 17, minus 5 by 7 root 15 you have. Okay, minus 19 by 7 and here you have minus, so plus into minus is minus 5 by 7 root 15. Okay, so let us compare this with a minus b root 15. Okay, so here a is minus 19 by 7. Yes, a is minus 19 by 7. So this is minus 19 by 7. Now you have a minus here. So you have minus here also. And what is b? B is 5 by 7. Okay, so don't get confused with the minus sign. You have minus here and minus here. Okay, here in the place of b you have only 5 by 7. Okay, so b is 5 by 7. Now rationalizing the denominator is a very important topic and it is a scoring topic and easy too. So practice these problems and I'll meet you with a different set of questions in the next video. Till then, like this video, share this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.